the X-Wing started to open. I was like, oh. I know what that means.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a podcast named Tim, a father and son movie review podcast where, well, we review movies. So if you like movies, you should watch movies and then come listen to us talk about movies. It's not a hard gimmick to figure out here. Each week we talk about 2 or 3 movies, some things we've been watching, and some homework assignments, if you will, for things that we have set, some themes for the week. This week we're doing, it is July, so we're honoring Julius Caesar, the great Roman, and in his name we are watching The Belly of an Architect and The Arena, some kind of Roman-themed movies. We're available everywhere podcasts are, so please leave a rating and review on your audio platform of choice. And we are on YouTube where we do bonus movie reviews, some Star Wars content, some Power Rangers, and other things. And of course, don't forget our website, podcastnamedtim.com. That's podcastnamedtim.com. To click on one of the 400 movies that we've watched, we've got all the different posters. Click on it.
Fireworks.
Yeah. There's fireworks here too. So we're recording July 4th for this one. But I'm Zach. Dad, how are you today, good sir?
Fantastic.
Yes. Don't worry, we didn't move to Chicago. There's just people are enjoying.
But I'm out in the boonies. Why am I hearing fireworks?
No, I don't know. Someone must be having a good time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Haven't heard them all evening until you started this.
Well, I can say
the record button is starting to go off.
I cannot hear them on your end, so.
Well, that's good.
For what it's worth. Well, we have kind of already talked off camera earlier today since I saw you. But what else have you been watching this week?
Just a bunch of documentaries, so might as well get into all of them.
Okay.
Too many of them.
Okay.
If there's the word murder in it and it's about somebody getting killed, I watched it. I didn't recognize any of the victims, so I don't think I did it. So, safe there. Did you realize what a scam? Did you realize Jack the Ripper only killed 5 people?
No, I thought that was like a whole summer-long thing.
He killed 5 people in 3 months of some hot summer in London, and they were all hookers.
Well, maybe that media made it a big deal.
Well, I'm sure that it did, but there's probably somebody killing 5 people right now.
Maybe that says something.
I just didn't. Yeah, well, I was like I don't know. There was something mentioned. I was like 5 people. That's it. Wow, how lame.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought it was a lot more. That makes more sense. I have a board game where you play as the detective Sherlock Holmes, and there's like some individual cases you can solve, but then they have like a 4-part kind of story mode, I guess you could say, where it's about Jack the Ripper, and if it's about 4, I guess that makes about sense because it'd be roughly.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was more than that. I guess the big thing is not ever really knowing exactly who he's.
Yeah.
The back thing, was he royalty? Was he, a doctor? Was he blah, blah, blah. So, but anyway, I don't know where that came from. I watched, just finished up the last season of Bosch today.
Mm-hmm.
It was all right. It went out. I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's almost like it ended up like they were going to make a new series out of it. He went and applied to be a private detective now instead of being a cop. So, I was like, all right, I'm good with that. You know what? I don't know what else I watched. I watched the War.
Tomorrowland.
Tomorrowland, Time Cop. Chris Pratt, Jurassic Park, Time.
Overall, yay, nay. I know we've already talked about it. I know you said story bad, but creature design and sound and maybe some of the other ancillary things good.
Yeah, they were all good, but it was like a black hole, the plot. There's so many. What? There's so many. Why didn't you just do it this way? There's too many plot holes in it for it to be a good movie.
Okay. I've already mentioned to you, but I did watch Dynasty Warriors, which I would not. I watched it with the English subtitle because to me that is the proper way to watch it. Because Dynasty Warriors, as a game, is at its best when you have terrible English dialogue.
Oh,
That's over the
absolutely.
top. And if you are a fan of the series, the video game series, which I am absolute a fan, I've played just about all of them since two. I missed the first one, but two, three Legends, four,
I started to
five.
ask you how many they ended up with those.
Well, it's weird because they have like they'll make like two, and then they'll make three, and then they'll make three Legends, and then they'll make four, and they'll make four Empire. And so there's kind of like mid steps, and I've pretty much bought most of them. It's the same game just about every time. The Empire ones get a little different because then you have a map and you're trying to kind of do like a risk thing where you're trying to take over the map and war with everyone else and recruit generals and stuff. So there's like a little bit
Gotcha.
more strategy in there, but typically it's just go fight 200 people, hit square, square, X, square, square. That's it. Hit these same three buttons in some form or fashion. It's a button
And
mash.
this is live action, right?
It is live action. I think it did the series justice. It definitely got the music absolutely right and the feel of it. I'm not saying the story was some of the story stuff. They tried to do some Hollywood explaining of things, which I didn't think was necessary. The history stuff they obviously got right, but the feel, the general feel and aura of a Dynasty Warriors video game, they got right. So
Apples to apples, video game movie to video game movie. How is this in comparison to Mortal Kombat?
1,000% better because
Good to hear.
and I would actually say, although the original Mortal Kombat is a better movie than Dynasty Warriors, this is probably one of the best actual adaptations.
Oh, okay.
So, but no, it was good. I watched America the Motion Picture. It is the sophomore. If you watch the trailer, you'll know if it's for you. Just put it that way. It is all of the sophomoric humor that you would expect. And if you're going in for F bombs and George Washington running around with a chainsaw and frat boy humor, you will get exactly that.
What is sophomoric humor?
Poop, fart, cuss
Yeah, but,
word.
so only your sophomore year you have that humor? You didn't
Well,
have it as a freshman, and you lose it as a junior.
you think this is a conspiracy theory? A conspiracy theory by the seniors to label this?
I think it's something. Doesn't sound fair.
It doesn't. But it is on Netflix. Stars Channing Tatum as George Washington.
Ah,
And to put it in perspective, the guy who directed it, I think, directed some Archer episodes in C Lab 2021. So that's kind of the humor we're going.
well, it's in the makings of Archer, right?
I think so. I think so. I would say Archer is a more intelligent show than this.
Sophomoric.
I think it's funny. But no, it was good. It was what I expected.
Good.
Well, if you don't want to dilly dally, although I'm just in here, in some respects, wasting time. My wife is watching The Patriot. She is having her annual viewing of The Patriot. And I said, I'm going to go record.
Did she tell you what I sent her?
Yeah, she did. She did. She said she must have known I was about to watch it. Oh,
I didn't actually. Well, I do know she's going to because of the day
Yes.
it is. But
Yes. She loves The
I saw
Patriot.
that, I was like, all right, I'll send her a little bit real quick.
Yeah, she loves The Patriot. She's watching it currently, and I am avoiding having to watch it. I don't think, and before we get into the actual films, to me, The Patriot is at best a once every 5 year movie. Probably once a decade.
I'm good with once a lifetime.
Well, my bigger point was I like Independence Day, but I don't have to watch it every There's not like I don't have like a movie that I need to watch on Independence Day.
Nah.
The closest thing I would say is The Sandlot, and I don't need to watch it then. Just sometime between Memorial Day, I just need to watch it sometime in the summer.
Gotcha.
Other than that, I don't really have to watch Independence Day film. maybe, yeah. So I know some
All right.
people do, but
But
well, let's start with The Belly of an Architect. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick moment to pause and hear a word from our sponsor. The Belly of an Architect came out in 1987, an era that you claim to be the greatest of film. Has a 1 hour and 59-minute runtime, a 7 out on the IMDb rating, an 85 on the tomato meter, and a 79% on the tomato audience score. Directed and written by Peter Greenaway, Greenaway, I guess they say his name.
it was supposedly we're supposed to know him. So
Yeah. And stars. I'm going to name the one person you need to know: Brian Dennehy. That's who, and Chloe Webb's also in it, but it stars Brian Dennehy. It is the Brian Dennehy movie.
yeah, absolutely.
It is. This was your selection for the week, so I'll go first. But quick synopsis: basically, an American architect, goes to Italy to host an exhibition, expose, whatever, a show about Boulez, the French architect. While he is over there, he develops a obsession with his stomach because he thinks he's sick. We'll get into that. His wife cheats on him with one of the people helping set up the thing. His life just kind of goes into shambles while he is over there. And it is critically, I think, a supported movie. It seemed like a lot of the very astute film aficionados liked it. I thought it was a steaming pile of shit. But, and I'm putting my critic hat on, because I've learned that in doing this over the last couple years with you, I can appreciate good things in bad movies and bad things in good movies. I can see the bloodlines. There is a good movie here. I like movies about obsession and revenge and like the idea of him obsessing over his stomach was I like the idea of that. It kind of it's like the Prestige. I like the fact that the movie is not about magicians. It's about two guys who are obsessed with each other. I like that idea. I like that in movies. It was an ugly film. There were too many long shots just so we could set up one camera and not have to move it. I guess they thought that was artsy. It just looked cheap to me. I did like the scene where he was originally making the copies of the stomach and putting it up against himself. And I like the scene where he tried to force his wife to eat the figs because he thought he was poisoning her. That's about it. Go ahead.
I loved it. I didn't know that's a
I was about to say, oh my god.
joke. Yeah, it was. I would only thing I would disagree with you is I actually thought it was a beautiful film, just because I love seeing all the architecture of Rome. The Roman architecture was absolutely beautiful. Music was so. Brian Dennehy's performance fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
But he just read the words, but he made them mean something. Other than that, I'm not really sure what I watched. I didn't. I mean, I get it, but it just was. I didn't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was just. It was one of those pretentious films again, where I'm sure. Which I mean, looking at the critiques and stuff, a lot of people blew smoke up this guy's ass about how good he was and how good this movie was. So I don't think we missed anything. This is not for everyday Joe.
No, this is not, and this is
No.
not for us. I actually, I think, had I been smarter, I would have appreciated this film more because I don't know who Boulez is, and I'm assuming this movie is supposed to make me care about who Boulez is and want to Wikipedia it, and I can tell you it did not do that for me.
Well, now I do like that he happened to have been the
Yeah.
Spheres. I've always liked him. I watched a documentary on him
Okay.
years and years ago. Albert Spears, which was Hitler's architect, who built a beautiful Germany before we blew the shit out of it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But he got stuff from him, so that was kind of neat. I didn't know that's who had inspired him, but I'm not a big architect fan. I love European architecture, I really do, and the old cities, gargoyles, and all
Hmm.
that inlay. I get that it's a waste. I understand that a lot of people say it's a waste now, and who cares about. I like to look at it, but it didn't help the movie. It didn't. It was like, oh, wow, I'm watching. I could have watched a 30-minute slideshow of all these pretty
Yeah,
features and been happier than I was when I was done with this movie.
yeah. I would. I think part of the issue is because of how smart the movie wants to be. There is no easing into the who Boule is and architecture jargon, and I
Right.
mean these guys are just talking ad nauseum about this. And if you don't know what to talk about, you're just like, huh? Because you know that they're trading barbs about each other and like taking pot shots at each other,
Right.
but there's this weird layer of just pretentious architecture jargon above it, and you're just like, I don't know. I know he just said something sassy to him, but I don't know what he said.
Yeah. And I almost feel like this was the second part of the movie, or the second part of a mini series, like a television mini series, because it's like you assumed that I knew the relationship between the wife and the husband. I mean, it seemed all right to me when they was on the train, and then all of a sudden they got crazy. I don't know. But this been a long. I don't know. I didn't understand their relationship. Has she always been a slut? Did she just turn into one of them Italian men and get this power over you? I just was like, who cares? She didn't seem to have any problem, and then he goes off and sleeps with the boyfriend's sister, and what all that was about.
Yeah,
I
that
don't know.
was. I
It was way too much of
I
just nonsense.
I think I saw some of the people who liked the film actually take some shots at it for being too mass consumption. Like I think this director
Mhm.
is super indie and super artsy, and I think this was more of his. This was his normal film.
Well, I've flipped through his stuff, and I've only heard of one of his movies, and I
Okay.
haven't seen it. Oh shoot, what is it? The diner, the thief, and the
Mhm.
something like that. I've heard of that one, and I think maybe there was another one I looked up, but I didn't know any of these movies, so I just assumed this was someone that made movies that I don't would ever watched, and I
Um,
don't think I will ever partake in any of his
no,
movies again.
no,
Since one of the reviews I read said this was one of his best, that
no.
kind of scared me.
Um, Brian Dennehy. This is our second Brian Dennehy film, by the way. Um, quoted as saying about this movie, "I've made lots of films,
No
or excuse me,
movies.
movies, but I've only made one film." And that's pretty
Ah,
much that's how you can sum up this film.
yeah, it wasn't. I mean, and again, his acting was fantastic. I mean, he was fine.
Yeah, he did. He
Nothing
did
wrong. I've
good.
always thought he's a good performer. I just yeah,
And maybe you can clear this up for me. Did it sounded like the whatever his name is, the Italian guy that was banging his wife, that he was his job was obviously to fundraise and handle the money.
right.
Did I understand that they were basically doing money laundering and trying to do something for Mussolini?
Well, see, I thought I understood that too, but it wasn't. I don't know. It was like kind of thrown in there, but I didn't really understand it. I thought
It's
I caught some of that too, and I
okay.
didn't really get it. But
I,
it wasn't Mussolini; he was long dead. So
well,
I'm
I don't
not.
know if it was like an exhibition for him that they were siphoning money off to or something.
I don't know. I
I don't know.
do believe that apparently Italians are the inventors of the pop-up restaurant. I like how just all of
Yeah.
a sudden out of the blue anywhere in the middle of the open there's tables and service and already. I don't know. I think that's where all the money's going to all these big fancy spreads they were having.
And I actually don't think the script was terrible. I think you needed someone to dumb it down just a little in the script, and I think I needed a better, to me, a better director.
Did it seem like that shot? Well, yeah, I'm not going to care fault to this. After he jumped,
Yeah. How did he make
first,
it
did it
there?
seem like he could have been on that car? Was that a weird spot? And
Yes.
second of all, did it seem like that was like a day later?
It was weirdly cut. So two things. One, I would have had him jump forward and land and kill himself in front of the exhibition, in front of everyone to ruin the
Yes,
exhibition.
exactly.
Two, especially because they had that scene earlier where the guy faked a heart attack to gin up publicity. But it didn't look like he could have landed where he landed.
And it seemed like the thing they were doing was kind of in the evening, but the
Yeah.
shot of him on that car was like, midday.
Well, and it was also weird because he went and talked to the chauffeur
Right.
beforehand, and he was like it looked like he was trying to bribe him for something, but I didn't understand what he was bribing, like to get the car in place or something. I don't know.
Now they missed they missed a money shot.
Yeah.
Why did this man not go up in front of everyone, like you said, and kill it,
Yeah.
and begin stabbing himself in the stomach with a dagger to kill himself? He's been obsessed the whole movie about his stomach. Why did he jump? He should have been cutting it out.
I'm fine with him jumping. I just wanted a speech. I
He
wanted
had
a
a
last
speech,
word.
but I wanted him to put a dagger through his stomach since that was the whole obsession.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of dagger and just go to town.
There's a good movie here. It's buried.
It's very deep.
Although I did not like this movie pretty much at all.
I give it a 2.
I'm kind of happy I watched it because that obsession thing just like Eraserhead's kind of about obsession and Prestige, and there's just all these movies that are just about people fixating on things, and that's just those types of movies fascinate me. And I wish they would have. I thought they could have leaned into it more, cut some of the love stuff down a little bit, and just have them focus in on this. And you know what? I can't be mad at the movie but so much because what do I always say? Give me advertise and give it to me what you advertise. The movie said it was called The Belly of an Architect. Well, damn it, this was a movie about the belly of an architect if I ever seen one.
I was upset. I thought it was going to be the Art Vandelay story.
I would definitely watch that. Definitely would watch that. Let's hop to our second movie, my selection for the week, entitled The Arena. Came out in 1974, has an R rating, a 1 hour and 23-minute runtime, a 5.3 on IMDb. It is for some reason listed on Rotten Tomatoes as Naked Warriors. I don't know why, but has a 23.
Roger Corman's one. That's what he wanted to call it.
That's what he wanted to call it. Yeah, does not have a tomato meter score, but has a 23 audience. It's about a group of slaves of a variety of nationalities who get caught by the Romans and are forced to participate in gladiator games in order to gin up some interest in the games because they're not doing so hot.
Sex sells even in ancient Rome.
So, what did you think of The Arena?
Yeah, this was god awful. I've seen like maybe one Pam Grier movie besides the Quentin Tarantino one, but I guess her and this chick have made a few movies together like this. I mean, I don't. There's not really much to say about it. It was exactly what I knew it was going to be when I read the thing. It was just stupid.
Yes, yeah, I should say it was directed by Steve Carver. This is our second Steve Carver film. Can you guess the other one?
Big Bad Mama?
No. Lone Wolf McQuade.
Wow, another gem.
I didn't know. I didn't know that when I picked it, but again, stars Margaret Markov, I guess they say that, and Pam Grier. Um, it is, like you said, exactly what you thought it would be. I will give it credit. Unlike last week's movie, which I forgot what it was at this point, that was a Roger Corman. Oh, Eat My Dust, which was a Roger Corman produced movie. This felt like a Roger Corman produced
Oh
movie.
yeah, it had tits in it.
Before I get into this specifics of this movie, which I have some thoughts on, why in the late 60s, 70s, and I don't know if it's mainly the 70s, what was the obsession with rape?
I don't know. That's funny you said that. Amy, I started watching this as Amy was going to sleep, and I think she was watching a little bit of it. And I heard, and I heard, I could tell she was still awake. I said, "Is this movie like about rape? What the heck?" Yeah,
Because it's not just this film.
yeah. Oh no, there was an era where they really glorified rape. Say what they want. All the other bad stuff that Hollywood has glorified throughout the years and been called on. I feel like rape has been a lesser of the evil sometimes. But yeah, there was a whole era where almost every crime movie or every something, even love stories sometimes began with a rape, and then they fell off. I mean, so yes, it. I don't know what it was. I'm not really.
It seemed like, I don't know if it's laziness or what, but it was kind of like if you're going to be a bad guy in a late 60s, mid 70s movie, well, how do we show he's a bad guy? Well, let's let him rape somebody.
GP.
I just that's what it was.
Going for the yeah.
I
You
don't
got
get
it.
it.
Oh, I know. It couldn't put a goatee on somebody. I guess.
Yeah. It's just, but that's all. That was one of the things I could think about watching this movie.
Yeah.
Um, I
Yeah, a little uncomfortable there.
yeah. Um, the overall though, while it is a bad movie, I again think there's a good idea here. And let me tell you why this movie deserves a remake and who should direct it and who should star in it. There's a director who has directed an all-female cast. Are you hiding? Are you hiding it? Yeah. There's a director that we both like who has handled all-women casts, done movies about,
You know what I mean?
yeah, handled very sexualized movies where women are beat the shit out of people and take charge.
Bill
And
Cosby.
Quentin Tarantino, a man who loves the 70s and loves Pam Grier.
He probably loves this movie.
He probably does. A remake by Quentin Tarantino starring Margot Robbie, and in the Pam Grier role, I would say either Rosario Dawson or Carrie Fisher. Or Kerry Washington, excuse me.
I was going to say, we Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, Kerry Washington. Sorry, I watched Star Wars.
Oh, Kerry Washington. That is good.
But both of them have worked with him before, which is his calling card. But if you give me Margot Robbie and Kerry Washington and a Tarantino version of this, he will be able to do this movie justice and what it's supposed to be.
And one of the guy that runs the Gladiators.
Michael
the one that runs the show. That's Paul Giamatti.
Oh, you don't want Michael Madsen?
Now, Michael Madsen needs to be one of the gladiators, one of the older gladiators that's about reached his peak.
Yeah. Maybe some Harvey Keitel as one of the other Romans.
And of course, Kerry Washington's lover at the beginning would be Samuel Jackson.
Oh, yeah, he has to be. Well,
I don't know. I don't want to remake this.
I think I would like to see this in competition because I like the idea of like these women get captured, they fight back, and they do some like the idea of like a women gladiator movie like this where they're fighting back and stuff. I like the idea of it. And Tarantino would be the only person that could do it. No one else.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I do not want this to be his 10th and final film.
No, this can't count. I actually saw someone do some math. It said, well, if you Kill Bill 1 and 2, that's one movie, so that doesn't count. Death Proof was only half of a movie because it was part of Grindhouse, so that's only half. And they tried to block out something else. They were like, all right, so really he has like 4 more movies to make.
Wait.
But I'm trying to think of something else to say about this, to be honest with you. Yeah, it wasn't good.
No.
It wasn't.
And you got to stop picking stuff on Tubi. This commercial every 5 seconds is just too much.
I don't think they're that bad.
Oh my god! Well, maybe you got some kind of supercharged Tubi. My Tubi. It took me 3 hours to watch this movie.
Don't be overdramatic.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, you like the guy in this movie, whatever his name is.
Oh, that's the Perseus or something like that.
Yeah, whoever the over effeminate,
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I think they called him Perseus.
I think it was something. See what you did there.
That's like, all right. Yeah, that was a little over the top. I don't know. The movie was dumb. Made no sense. It was stupid.
It made sense.
No, it didn't make a whole lot of sense.
They were trying to, the Booker's got a book. Got to give something a little different. I did appreciate, this is also an ugly film, by the way, just to throw out there. And I loved the cheesiness, the cheap look of the Roman costumes. Like it felt like, because they did a lot of those Roman epics like in the late 50s, right?
Right.
And it felt like they were like, all right, well, we got this shit laying around here. Let's just let's use this real quick.
Right.
I think that might have been how the movie was born. It's like, we're gonna throw out this Roman stuff next week. Do you just want to make a movie? Oh man, not a great week. What would you say is a worse movie? I might say The Belly of an Architect is worse.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Maybe just because it thinks it's good, and the arena, I'm sure, doesn't.
No, it knows
exactly what it is. It's an exploitation film, and move on. So yeah, probably that's The Belly is probably the worst one because I'm sure they stood up and applauded him in the screening room.
Okay. So. Well, yeah, not a great week of film. The other things we watched, I enjoyed watching some of the other things that were not prescribed for us this week.
Right.
Whew, these were rough.
They were rough.
But that's okay. We're going to rebound next week because next week we're doing basketball movies. Space Jam. You see what I did there? Rebound. We're going to rebound. Yeah, we're going into the NBA Finals, and Space Jam 2 happens to be coming out at the same time.
That's some marketing there.
Who planned this?
Marketing geniuses.
Yeah. So we figured it'd be a good time to talk about some hoops. We will not be covering Hoosiers because we've already covered that a year ago. Full stop. It is the greatest sports movie done. Signed, sealed, delivered. Go listen to our review of it in the archives. Your movie for the week.
Get a ball to Jimmy.
That's right. I think that was actually the name of the episode.
I think it was.
What do we watch next week?
On Hulu, we'll find a little gem called Wolves. Wolves. Wolves.
Okay. I'm surprised. I almost picked Teen Wolf. Not gonna lie.
That's so funny because that's where this came from. Not. I don't mean that's why they made it.
I almost picked Teen Wolf, but I knew you'd already seen it a bunch, and It's been some years since I've seen it, but I thought about it. Well, I am looking at a movie here, and now I don't know if I want to pick it or not because now I'm confused.
Why are you
So,
confused?
well, I'm looking at a character an actor's IMDb page,
Ah,
and it doesn't say he's in it, but on the poster it says he's in it. On the picture of the thing,
one
it
of
says
those.
no, because given the character it says he plays in the description, he would have to be the main star of the movie. It says it's a Richard Lewis movie called Game
Richard,
Day.
and called what?
Game Day, and it came out in 2020.
Richard Lewis in
Yes,
2020.
yes.
Wow, he must have been needing some money.
Um, that's why I was like,
Is
it
he like
looks
the principal?
he's the coach.
A neurotic. We were talking about Richard Lewis like it's a Curb Your Enthusiasm Richard Lewis.
That's who it looks like in this picture. Will you go to your Amazon Prime real quick and confirm that this is Richard Lewis before I assign this? Because that's why I picked this movie, because it has Richard Lewis in it. It's called Game Day. It is on Amazon
Let me
Prime.
take the Titantron here.
Yeah. It says Game Day, and it says Richard Lewis in Game Day.
Wow. That is quite scary. You're scaring me here. He's just been really sick is why I was really thinking that's weird. I mean, you think he's on the other side of it, but I think he had a rough couple of years with health.
Yeah, I thought so.
Game Day?
Game Day? Space Day on Amazon Prime.
Game Day.
You see the cover?
Well, my guess would be that's a re-release because that's a very young picture.
Okay, that's what I thought too, but I was like, is this 2020 on there?
Yeah. I don't think that's now. No, this is definitely an older movie.
Oh yeah, I see it. It says 1999
There
on
we
his
go.
page. Okay, so it is him.
Now there's a remake of Game Day.
Nah, I want to watch Richard Lewis Game Day.
Richard Lewis Game Day.
1999 is what it
Oh
says.
boy. Oh.
You don't want to watch. You don't want to watch Richard Lewis coach
Sure.
some basketball.
Sure. There's
I hope he hams it up.
Oh my God, it's a 2-hour movie too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, check it out.
We will. Oh.
My movie stars Michael Shannon.
Oh God. Oh, well, this is gonna be a fun week. This is gonna be one of the most weirdly acted weeks, especially for sports related.
I should have went with semi-pro and taking another long man
Well,
right now.
So I wanted to pick Love and Basketball.
Yeah.
But it ain't free anywhere.
I was thinking about Basketball Diaries.
Yeah.
That's what it was. But I was like, yeah, let me find an obscure one.
So this will be interesting. Michael Shannon and Richard Lewis. We should get them together for a sports movie of some kind. Or anything. Let's get the two of them together on screen.
Yeah, I really wanted to see this performance by Richard Lewis. I mean, he's a very one-note kind of guy.
Oh, yes.
So I can't
yes,
imagine. Is this a kind?
I
would think it'd be the picture of I'm looking at it looks like it'd be a comedy, but the trailer of the thing that they play when you're looking at it looks like it's a really intense Richard Lewis.
The
I guess we'll have to see.
The description sounds serious.
Okay. See what happens.
We will see what happens. Well, it is listed as comedy, drama, sport.
So it just hits everything.
It's got all the things.
Game day. Okay.
All right. Well, I look forward to chatting with you about Game Day and Wolves next week. I hope everyone is having a safe 4th. Don't blow off any fingers. Don't drink and drive,
Yeah, it looked like
regardless.
something
Ever.
happened down in Ocean City.
Mm.
Amy's, so we've been talking about going back down there. And Amy sent me, like somebody posted a video of a firework display set up going off early on the beach. People running from it. And, so fun.
You got to back up, Terry. Well, we will see you all next week. Thank you for joining us. Again, if you have made it this far in the episode, do us a favor, rate and review it, and share it. Just do all that good stuff. Do all the stuff. And don't forget to go to our YouTube channel. We will see you next time on a podcast named Tim.